side, x6tence taking up the red as the first phase of the draft begins. Lindis and Florentino taken off the board.
Yeah, Florentino, an obvious ban on the red side every single time. I'm wondering if x6tence is going to take away the net. We saw Memorize play a lot of Annette, and his Hurricane walls have just been on point. So Annette being picked on each side of the team is going to really help that team, I feel.
The other highlight to pay attention to in this draft is going to be the side lane ADC and the Dragon lane for Team Queso. They've swapped Simjo out of their roster, brought in Lilu. How that's going to impact their draft and their character pools is still yet to be firmly nailed down.
Last week we had Varus active in the Valor series. It was something that we wanted to continuously track, and she actually fell through quite often, touting just above a 65-70% win rate. She's taken off the board here by Team Queso. Elsu as well taken off by x6tence. A very smart ban for them, considering multiple players on the Team Queso roster can play it. But what does that leave open? Sephora for a first pick.
Yeah, and Richter's also open as well. So this is a good, they did their homework. Banning away Elsu is a very smart move because Reese and Lilu can play Elsu. They can flex him mid or side lane there. And with Ryoma open, Richter open, there's a lot of good options for x6tence.
But they have given up that Sephora, which I think is a very big pickup for the mid matchup. We highlighted it so much. We said you need every advantage over in Bamboo's hands, and he's already up against a tough match in mid.
Richter, Ryoma immediately banned away, or sorry, immediately taken now. Ryoma has been a rising star in the European Valor series, being the consistent factor in what he provides for his team.
Yeah, because he's so great. You can flex him side lane, or you can flex him in jungle. He's been doing great in jungle, much higher win rate. But Annette is open. Annette and Sephora are very strong together. They give a lot of heals. They give a good stun. So I feel like Annette's going to be picked up here, and then they could go for potentially a strong mid laner.
But there hasn't been a whole lot of prioritization towards Memorize this season. I've felt definitely like Team Queso are not relying on him nearly as much as his previous roster. Memorized was one of the best supports in the world when he played for Bubble Team. This season, he's been somewhat lackluster.
You've mentioned about the Annette, but if it seems to be hovering between the Tulin and the Flash, that Tulin pickup will then mean that is a Tulin in the mid lane, which means Sephora will now be floated down to the support position. So an Annette doesn't even seem like it's on the cards for Queso.
Yeah, it looks like Annette's going to be handed over, but Tulin and Sephora are very strong in the mid lane. Tulin hitting level 2 very quickly. He's going to dominate any other mid lane opponent. Sephora having that range and that pressure in mid lane as well. That means the person that they have left is Liliana, and we know that Liliana is not as strong in the early game as a mage.
This is really fun as a Team Queso draft because it harkens back to kind of what Bubble Team used to do during Season 2. This is a very lightweight draft with a lot of damage. I've been playing some Sephora on support. She is very powerful, but she definitely lacks healing or stun compared to the other support characters, which means they're going to be reliant on doing as much damage as possible during these team fights and winning them quickly.
It's also really great to see that Team Queso is creating a immediate strategy with their first 3 picks, in that they have the ability to tango in the early stages. They've saved one of their side laners as well as their jungler because they know that Ibuchichi might have to play a little bit more of a supporty style role, considering you have the strong 1v1 potential in Omen Tulin, as well as that roaming support in Sephora.
The thing Team Queso need to watch out for, and the best call I think from x6tence, would be to pick up a little bit more HP though. Because if they're able to grab characters like this Roxy, like the Crest we know they love over on x6tence, this heavy damage character pool from Team Queso is going to run into a brick wall and not be able to leverage anything after their initial burst is done.
Yeah, and you can see there, they're targeting now the ADCs because they know we saw Lilu play a pretty good Valheim as well. So they have done their homework and target banning the heroes that they saw Team Queso play so successfully. And I feel like the ADCs will continue to ban, and Net being taken off here is very smart by Team Queso because, again, she's a ranged support that can offer some pressure in mid lane. And mid lane is going to be the name of the game for Team Queso.
x6tence are making sure that we don't have a strong early game comp from Team Queso beyond what they already have. Taking away that Valheim removes some of the tower pressure they were looking for. I don't think Team Queso are too worried about that though, because they have the Omen for towers, and they already have Tulin Sephora, which is some of the highest burst damage in the game. That means unless x6tence pick up a tanky front line, they're going to be struggling.
Questioning to see the Baldom hover over on this, considering the fact that their support is already taken. I don't think Team Queso's feeling confident enough to throw the Baldom in the side lane. Instead, you're right, they also now are eliminating team fight pressure, team fight potential, as Zenial is taken off the board by x6tence, their final ban of game number 1, was Team Queso now having the last ban available.
Yeah, interesting Zenio ban there, because we know that Sephora is probably going to be support with Tulin, and so maybe they want to deny the Omen Zenio combo that we saw so powerful in earlier seasons of Arena of Valor. Baldwin is going to be taken off the map here, and now x6tence has their 4th pick. Is it going to be that ADC, or are they going to secure their support?
I'd actually like to return, if we can, to that Zenial pick, or that Zenial ban from x6tence, because it makes no sense if you believe that the Omen's going up top and the Sephiroth's in support. There's legitimately no reason why you should ban out that Zenial.
Yeah, maybe they're afraid of the Omen Zenio combo, and maybe Team Queso has been testing. Who knows? But it's going to be interesting to see why they banned that Zenio and what is Team Queso going to respond with, because they have a lot of options ADC-wise. There's Tel'Anis open. They can pick an assassin jungler like Quillin or Kriknak, because Quillin could work because there's no arm, there's no Omen against them.
Morin now gets picked up for the side lane there.
Wow.
So Tel'Anis doesn't become an option. We've seen Morin pop up a couple times. It is still the hovering of which assassin jungler they're going to decide to choose. Seems like early game still seems to be the decision, as Zephys looks to be the priority for Queso.
Team Queso don't even actually have a brutally early game composition. They just have a very lightweight, high burst composition. The way you stop that normally is you run what's known as a fortress comp. You have some tanky front lines to sit up front, take in the burst damage, and you let your damage dealers from the back lines respond over the course of an extended team fight. But x6tence don't have that, particularly with the Alice in the support role.
Yeah, x6tence has a Roma, Richter, and Roxy is very strong in the early game, but like Team Queso has the mid lane pressure. They have Tulin, they have Sephora, but you can see Zephys and Morin, they don't really scale until they hit level 4, and Morin especially into the late game. So x6tence has to go with the early game draft. Malik looks like a good pick here. They have to abuse this early game, shut down the mid lane Ruiz, so they can then take the first dragon and continue to pile on those dragons, because if they don't win that early game, I don't see a way for x6tence to really come out of this game.
17 seconds left on the pick. x6tence, as you mentioned, looks to be hovering the Malik. Final decisions to be made as they are trying to figure out what direction they want to go. It's now a Malik, potentially a Kilgroth, but the Malik gets locked in.
I feel this Malik's too late, because like I was saying, I think they need a tanky front line in order to hold on to this game. But I feel like the Malik is just too little too late, because it's the Malik and the Roxy, and they're going to be relying on that to hold back this entire wave of high mobility, high damage characters.
Yeah, but they have 4 really strong early game, right? Alice, Malice combo. They could pull it off, but again, they have to snowball that early game completely, and we know Team Queso, they're the team that normally plays the early game a lot better than their opponents, so it's going to be a very tricky game for x6tence.
Let's talk a little bit about our head-to-head matchup, though, because we've got 2 mid laners that are foundational pieces for the Team X Factors, as you might call it. You've got a Tulin into the hands of Ruiz, something we've seen him do plenty of times, especially being the #1 player in the European region. But Richter in the hands of Bamboo. How are we thinking with this matchup?
I think the hardest part for the Richter is going to be being able to get in on any enemies for the length of time of his ultimate. Because that Mark of the Hunter, it's a big AoE, it looks like dirt, and it's awful, and if you stand in it, you die. But you have to stand in it for a while. And if you're playing into that composition, I don't think the Mark of the Hunter is going to have enough targets. I think he's going to jump into the enemy team, spend his AoE ult, and everyone's going to run away and then burst him down.
Yeah, and they also have to counterplay against the Omen, because when Omen gets his Death's Embrace, Alice, Malik, they have to come in there and protect whoever is in that Death's Embrace, because if they don't fight as a team, then Team Queso is going to easily pick them off one by one. And more importantly, they cannot let Morin get to late game, because once Morin gets to late game, they have Sephora, they have a lot of protection for him. He's going to be very hard to kill.
With that being said, clearly they're scaling opportunities for Queso. This is a composition that, for the most part, we have seen in multiple iterations with very slight variable changes. x6tence, we've talked a little bit about how they need to win the game, but talk me through the early game on this. What does need to be the priority for x6tence explicitly with this composition?
I think their secret weapon has to be the Malik. And I think they have a couple ways to enable that, but mostly I'm looking for the Malik to couple with the wave clear from the Roxy and push together early.
Well, hopefully x6tence can continue to play Dream Killer, as they have gone 2-2 in their previous 4 matches. Queso, though, this is a do-or-die situation if they have hopes of the #1 seed.
This is their last hope, and x6tence are already pressing very far forward into the enemy jungle and defending theirs simultaneously. They'll get the enemy buff. I don't believe that Royd's held on to his own, but he made an effort at it.
Memorized. He's actually able to steal that jungle creep. And yeah, look at Royd's. He's going to go up there. But this is exactly what x6tence needs to do there. The 3-man rotation, they have the early game composition, and they executed their win condition in that first rotation very well.
You said they had to win early game. They just did what's known as triple buffing. They got their own buffs, Royd managing to pick up the might buff, and they invaded.
Oh, nice moves by Bamboo there. Able to get out alive. Chicken taking a lot of damage, though. You can see the pressure that Tulin and Sephora do in the mid-game. This is why Team Queso drafted, because they rely on their mid-game dominance here to really set up the rest of the team for success.
So is this support Richter?
I think it's a mid lane Richter and then a support Alice, I believe. So there's not a lot of magic damage except for Roxy, but that's not really a lot of burst magic damage on the side of x6tence here. So that's why they have to really win this early game, because once late game comes, it's easier to build defense against such a heavy attack damage composition.
x6tence want to leverage that early attack damage. They'll bring it down to the bottom lane. Even with the speed boost from the Alice, though, they're not able to get in range in time, and Team Queso don't even really have to contest.
Yeah, and I do like the Richter in mid. It could work out here. As you know, through the river, he has an increased movement speed, allows him to rotate and gank and be on the map where he needs to be. And you can see here, x6tence is exerting a lot of dragon control on that side. And Alice, Ryoma, that combo, stun combo, could work out really well for them if they execute it properly. And this is their time to shine, because Zephy's has not really reached his power spike yet. He's level 4, but has not reached his mid-game power spike just yet.
So x6tence need this first Abyssal Dragon, and they're contesting around it. They've yet to fully commit to it. Team Queso do a vision on it.
And nice rotation by Team Queso there, making x6tence back off a little bit, because it's very risky there, because if you lose the dragon and the fight, that could completely turn your early game over on its head.
And they've stalled out the dragon successfully. Team Queso, don't let x6tence get anything in this early game.
Yeah, this is a textbook how you deny an early game composition here by putting pressure, rotating as a team, winning that mid lane trade, which Tulin is doing exactly against the Richter here. You can see Tulin is constantly putting pressure against Bamboo. And as a result, because of the mid lane pressure, you can't really set up your team to take the dragon. You basically deny your opponent from trying to exert dragon control.
x6tence build that early game gold lead off the back of their fantastic invade play. They haven't done anything with that lead, though, and it is rapidly shrinking, especially when they try and contest these abyssals.
This is absolutely critical, because you can see the combo that they have. They have the Death's Embrace, they have the Magnetic Storm, they have Sephora's stun from her water wall, and also the Death from Above from Zephy. So there's a lot of combos that Team Queso can do, and once they execute a combo successfully, it's pretty tough.
He's pulled in. The Agni's Grasp did land, but Bamboo doesn't have the chase. And Team Queso will get away. In the meantime, the Abyssal Dragon was attempted, but x6tence didn't stick it this time either.
Yeah, a lot of time wasted there, unfortunately, for x6tence there. That was their time to really take the dragon. You can see Team Queso with these 3 to 4 man rotations. But look at this.
Oh, Waterwall Tides of Life. That'll keep him safe and heal him up. Nicely done by the support player.
Yeah, and this is why Sephora works in the support position as well as the mid. She has so much sustain, and that's why she's such a priority in the current meta.
Using the Tides of Life there defensively just to iframe. That means it's not available now as the shock comes through. Memorize is down. Bamboo with first blood, and Lilu barely survives the engage as well. This should be x6tence picking up the Abyssal.
I love that. Taking advantage of Memorize. He's low on health, doesn't have his ultimate up. The Alice comes out, and the Malik ultimate. Shock from above. That combo, the Malice combo as we know it, has worked out. They secure the kill and then convert that kill into an Abyssal Dragon.
Nicely done. Is this x6tence following on that early game?
Yeah, they definitely are. Again, Chitin and Clemars, they understand the combo that Alice and Malik have together. If they continue to execute and initiate that way and leverage the stun combo that Ryoma and Alice have together with Blue Triton, that's going to be a great combo.
Hope memorized. That was the wrong bush. He has to spend the Tides of Life, and even that might not save him. The water wall will get him to safety. Ruiz is there. The sunshine doesn't land. Cleaves barely short, and Memorized is barely alive.
Yeah, and like you said, TJ, Sephora, although can play in that support position, she's a little squishy, so they got to be a little careful. Oh, Agnes Grass barely missed there by Royds. If he got that, they would have secured the kill on Yavik. One interesting thing, though, Yavik normally dominates his top lane, and we see right now he's not really making as big of an impact as we saw him from last weekend.
Yeah, that's a little bit rough for Yavik, I think. He wants to be a little bit more successful up there, and He's been struggling because Roids is such a good player and because Roids is able to outclear his wave on the Roxy, especially in the early game. She's a very good counter into Omen.
Yeah, definitely. You can see there, Roxy is the most fed at 3.7k gold. It's going to be a key initiator and also a key counter engager too with that Agony Grass. So I'm going to be paying attention very closely to how well Roids is going to use that Agony Grass.
Oh, lots of damage threatened in the mid lane. Blue Triton got knocked up. But all of Existence were safely able to fall back. Team Queso weren't able to get anything done. Down bottom though, Magnetic Storm is down. Lilu onto Clemaris, does it the close range fight. He has to shock to safety. That gets him out, but you can already see that threatened scale. Yeah,
and that shock used defensively there is not a good play because he's not going to have it up for the next engage. Dragon's going to be in play in 15 seconds. And the key here that I'm looking from Existence, if they understand their win condition, is the ultimate combo that they have together. Richter, Malice, and Malik have such a good combo together, especially if they're able to help Richter fully leverage the mark of the Hunter, that 5 seconds that he gets to increase his damage output when he uses the ultimate.
Lilo, though, we were talking about the scale of the Morin in the bottom lane. This is going to be a key example of that, because he's going to start shredding this bottom tower if he isn't already. He's going to start being able to shred people in team fights, and because Existence don't have that tanky front line, apart from Clemaris, who's in lane against him, they're going to have a lot of trouble sustaining fights against him.
Yeah, and I like that he picked Sprint Boots on the Morin here instead of the Flicker, so it looks like he wants to leverage Morin to be that heavy engage and chase attack.
That's a good Agnes grasp. Ibuchichi in a lot of trouble. Will Death. Oh, he doesn't get out. He barely does. Seconds ahead of the chase from Bamboo.
Yeah, such close calls there for Ibuchichi so many times, but that makes Effie so strong. That's his passive, right? The lower health he gets, the harder it is for you to kill him.
Down bottom, the tower did go in favor of Team Queso. Lilu responsible for that. Blue Triton's trying to chase. That's a mistake. They can't kill him. Lilu just returns. Clemaris and Blue Triton both have to run. Chicken will take the front lines. The rest of the team's trying to get past him, and it looks like they barely do. The Heights of Life from Memorized will win him the fight versus Clemaris eventually. Lilu trades 2 for 1 up top. Memorized is shutting down the rest of the team, and Team Queso off the bottom lane.
That was a crazy engager. What a nice rotation by Ibuchichi. A nice death from above, but look how long Lilu lasted. He uses sprints to chase them. All that lifesteal that he had, 2 versus 1, they couldn't handle him. And then the tides then turn in their favor, getting 3 kills here for Team Queso. This is a huge point in the mid game for them. And now they have the gold lead and the kill lead here.
So we talked a lot about the Existence early game. Is this the end of it? Have they lost their advantage?
Yeah, this could be. Again, they have to combo. They have to lock down Lilu and not allow him to stack up his passive there and get so much lifesteal. You saw how much lifesteal that he was able to gain there and just get right back into the fight. And that's something they have to avoid. And the only way to do that is to leverage Agony Grass and to CC that Morin so he does not basically maximize his lifesteal passive.
Yeah, every time Morin uses his tactical fire, his main 3 bursts of his auto attack, he gets a little bit harder to kill. He increases his survivability. I believe he gets damage reduction off of it, and it stacks up to 6 times. So the longer a fight with a Morin goes on, the more damage and the harder he is to kill. In the mid lane, though, Team Queso are finally suffering. A kill goes over. That was Memorized to fall. Clemaris picking up the kill, and Bamboo dives in just as Roids lands the Agnes Grasp up top. That tower is very low, and Yavex has to retreat behind him as Blue Triton rotates up. He'll go through. Nice Wailing Blades. Roids can't find the kill. He'll commit in, but Ibuchichi grabs Blue Triton, and it's 2 to him and Team Queso. Lilu finally falls down bottom. A small victory for Existence.
Yeah, that was a huge misplay there. Almost got the kill onto Yavex, but that's why Omen is so good. He's so hard to kill. And Ibuchichi, the beautiful death from above, he's landing it right on Blue Triton, secures the kill. And as a result, they get a tower, they get a kill. And this is not looking good. But Existence is showing some signs of life there. They are able to focus on Memorize, and that's the key there. Memorize has been out of position a few times, and they've been taking advantage of that.
And they were able to grab Lilu as well. That's the key kill.
Yeah, definitely the key kill. You can see he has at 7,000 gold. He's the most fed hero in the game. So those 2 deaths on Lilu has slowed him down a little bit, but still, he is the most farmed, and he has the Bow of Slaughter already. That 26% lifesteal that he gets from his precision, plus the lifesteal that the Bow of Slaughter offers, that's going to make him really hard to kill. So they need to get anti-HP regeneration items on the side of Existence.
Tome of the Reaper may be most often built on your Alice because you can use the Hissy Fit as a big AoE application for that healing denial. We'll have to see if they consider it. Up top, Royce is still dueling Yavix. Can't find the kill this time, but he's still winning that fight. A small spot of light for Existence.
Yeah, definitely winning the fight, but I wish he would save the Agni grabs for when his teammates are near him, because every time you get an Agni grab, it should be an instant and guaranteed kill on whoever you're grabbing.
Here's the fight memorized, and Lilu trying to contest an Abyssal. Oh, x6tence walks a little bit too far forward, and Lilu just deletes him. Now Clemers wants to contest. They have reset the dragon successfully. But it's a small reward because Lilu can now charge forward with the aid of memorized and Ruiz. Scour Clemers and Triton back.
Yeah, and you can see their 2K gold lead. This is going to be a dragon going over to Team Queso at the 11-minute mark. He's going to rage Abyssal Dragon on top of that, which is going to make Lilu all that much harder to kill. This is not what Existence wants, and now this is going to give over a lot of map control to Team Queso.
Oh, dive in, Mark of the Hunter. That's exactly what I was worried about.
Oh.
Bamboo's gone. He can't apply the Mark of the Hunter. Blue Triton also eats a Thunderbird. He'll be able to stay safe behind tower, but only barely. x6tence can't clear wave. That means the tower he's safe behind may shortly fall.
What a beautiful and aggressive play by Ruiz there. But I thought Blue Triton was going to body block that Thunderbird. But he doesn't. It lands on to Roy, which is not good.
Oh my god! x6tence, you've got to run. There's no way to hold. Clemers himself tries to shock out, but it's cancelled. Lilu denies it. Excellently done. And there's no way to safety. All the towers are gone. And Team Queso are pushing in for the base. Existence want to try and have a hold. It's only x6tence and Bamboo though. And the core itself is burned down. Ibuchichi does finally get it. And it will be Team Queso taking game number 1.
Yeah, and Team Queso, they're hungry. They want to get these 2 wins because they are in contention for that top 4. And you can see, late game was the name of the game. They made it to late game and then started to shine from there.
And that's all they needed to do, get past that questionable early game. Once they were past that questionable early game from Existence, it was just over.
Yeah, I do want to say, Existence, though, they played their early game cards really well. Just Team Queso just knew how to counter it. Their 4-man, 3-man rotations to basically deny those early dragons was critical to not allow Existence their win condition too strongly because they executed a perfect first rotation.